Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with me. This is Ninja Chris, and we're in the middle of a 5-day Ninja Chris cast marathon. We've already finished our first game of the evening, so we've actually got 3 more ready to go. I hope you're ready for that. But until then, I actually have some very interesting news for those of you who are interested in the competitive scene and essentially the casting scene if you're like me. So one of the big deals, the biggest deal of the day is, if you haven't heard already, the Navi lineup has been confirmed. We actually have 5 players. We have Dendi, Havost, and Funnick still around. But now we actually have FNG from Power Rangers, and we have Vanscore from Empire. So that is our new lineup. We have lost Kuroki, and we lost... oh gosh, I had his name. Wow, he's fallen off already. My bad. Either way, so we are down. We have our final 5 lineup: Dendi, Funnick, and Havost, as well as FNG and Vanscore. So that's actually going to be. I'm very interested to see how they're going to do with that. On alternative news, we actually just found out that Google got sniped out from buying Twitch. As many of you have known, Twitch was actually was originally going to be purchased out by Google and become part of YouTube. It was going to have that type of connection. And, well, to me anyway, seemingly out of nowhere, maybe I just missed the news, but either way, out of nowhere, Amazon has actually purchased Twitch for $970 million. Close to $1 billion. It's very interesting to see a lot of the recent businesses getting $1 billion purchases, especially with the Oculus Rift being purchased up by Facebook, which was another interesting little snipe out. And because of that, they got $1 billion as well. And I think it was even who was the group? The photos, the people who like taking pictures with their phones and all of that stuff, and having visual effects being applied. They got bought up by Facebook as well for $1 billion, something like that. So a lot of businesses being purchased up for $1 billion. It feels like that's the feel-good number as of right now. So very interesting. Either way, we're going to go ahead and get started into our next game. And while that's loading up, I just want to say once again, thank you for sticking around. My name is Ninja Chris. This is yet a Ninja Chris Casts. I'm glad to have you all. We're in the middle of a 5-day marathon. I posted up over on Reddit. Hopefully they don't hate on me too badly. I feel like they will, but that's what it is. I enjoy casting for you all. So anybody who joins in, love to have you. Thank you very much for sticking around. If you like what I'm doing, let me know, or go ahead and subscribe on either here and or YouTube, which my links are at the bottom. If you don't like what I'm doing, let me know. Hit me up on the Twitch chat and let me know. Instagram, that's the word I was looking for.
I am in your debt.
That is exactly what I was looking for. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're already having the visual problems, huh? I fail to understand. I don't... Everything is on its lowest possible setting, and yet this is supposed to be one of the best video cards.
30 seconds.
It's the GT960, something like that. It's up there. So naturally, everything has to fall apart anyway. Hopefully tomorrow, these computers will actually not be so horrible. I don't understand the problems. I'm very sorry, guys. I am very, very sorry, everybody. I will do my best, I promise. So, until then, we're just going to keep at it.
The battle begins.
Things will hopefully be smoothed out and perfected by tomorrow. Either way, let's go ahead and cast this game. This is yet another match recommended to me over by the Dota 2 Cast It Lounge. If you have any recommendations for me, let me know. I'm going to be doing this for 4 more days. I need suggestions. So if you have matches you want to see, funny ones or bad ones where there were just mistakes for a while, let me know. I will cast them. If you want to see some professional matches casted, let me know. I will cast them. Whatever you have interest in. Either way, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the quick little lineup. On the Radiant side, we have Smoke and No Fly on the Tinker. With the Lion support, we have Diablo Ducks. We have Wind Ranger being played by Ain. Sand King with the Nohoi. And Centaur Warrunner as Munchy Biscuit. Actually, we have a little bit of aggression coming in as they're going to jump on top of the Sand King. This is a potentially very fast level 1 as Slark is going to go ahead and take a step back. Fortunately, his buddy Lion getting him out of a bind. Let's go ahead and introduce the Dire. Murloc very appropriately being played on the Slark. Wraith King as Chilelele. Bounty Hunter as Levi. Queen of Pain in the middle lane as Jack Black. And on the Earthshaker we have Jack White. I wonder if that was a team up. I don't know. Maybe. Just a maybe. Either way, we do have a nice little tri-lane on the bottom lane. On the Radiant side, anyway. The Lion, we have the Sand King jungling, and the Centaur Warrunner facing up a beautiful little Slark, and we have the Tinker actually getting the first blood in the middle lane against the Queen of Pain. I did not see that coming because the Queen of Pain should not be playing that. Ugh, she had the blink? I don't understand. Whatever. Just a bad play, that must have been. Either way, she's going to go ahead and chase down this Tinker, see if she get... Nope, she's not going to get the kill. Little interesting. Either way, back up in the top lane, we continue to see the Wind Ranger, Warrunner. The Wind Ranger continue to pick on that Wraith King, forcing out an early bottle. Very smart play. But if we see that Earthshaker, he's got his Q down. Guess we'll see if he actually wants to continue initiating on top of that. Either way, Tinker now waiting. Wait, there we go. We did it. We get it, guys. We did it. All right. Back in the bottom lane, we actually see some nice little initiation coming on from the Bounty Hunter. He might pick off this Lion if he does it just right. He's going to get the first hit on him, and he's just going to blink smoke right back out of that. Very well played. Not a bad start. Windrunner actually getting the Wraith King just like I was expecting earlier. I'm sorry I missed it, but we did see that one coming. Back in the middle lane, we actually see the Tinker continuing to pick on this Queen of Pain. He's got the bottle actually being slowly returned to him. Interesting little tip for you all, just in case you're interested. If you happen to be in the middle lane and you're bottle crowing, we over on Reddit they have determined that if you do not use, if it's a flying courier, do not use the speed boost until it returns. It actually is faster if you let the bottle fly back at normal at its reduced speed and then return it at full speed once it's on its way back trajectory back to you. Queen of Pain, that's what I get for talking. I missed 3 kills in a row. This is not good. I'm sorry, guys. I will do. But either way, just so you know, use the bottle crow on the return trip, not on the return to lane trip. And with that, I'm going to stick to the game because what's the point of me talking if I'm not going to be casting the game I'm here to cast for? Tinker going to go ahead and pick up a Soul Ring, continuing to snowball a little bit in that manner. That's going to be a nice little pickup for them. Allow them to keep pushing. If this Wind Ranger can just get can find this Earthshaker, that's going to be, well, he was almost out of the mana pot anyway. Big potential fight coming in on the bottom lane. The Bounty Hunter's ready to find this Lion, see if he can get a pick off on top of that. No other lanes are really getting threatened, even though the Queen of Pain. Actually, he's going to get spotted due to the nice little Sentry Ward. Brilliant play! Brilliant play on the Radiant side, getting the first kills. The Slark is not ready to give up the fight. He's going to continue chasing in, but this might be his death as well, as the Radiant are going to get a second kill out of this. Back up in the middle lane, we even continue to see a nice little last hit coming on top of the Queen of Pain, while the Tinker's just barely going to get back out of the fight. Nice little play coming in from the Radiant side, completely luring out that Slark. Or the Bounty Hunter, excuse me. What a nice little setup. I love doing that, especially against amateur Ricky players. You drop the Sentry Ward, they're wandering around, they think they got the jump on you, and then everybody hops on them. It's so much fun. It's so good. Back up at the top lane, we actually have the Wind Ranger continuing to pick on this poor little Wraith King support. Excuse me. Not. I guess he wouldn't be the support. Oh my gosh! Why do I always look away at the wrong time? Centaur actually getting the kill on top of the Slark, pushing back in even further. 5-1. I was expecting the Windrunner to be the one who made that kill, and I'm wrong. I am all sorts of wrong today. I am sorry, guys. My bad. I am a bad person. Back up at the top lane, we do have the Windrunner. She's continuing to pick on that Wraith King.
Dire's bottom tower.
There we go. There's some nice little the right clicks, luring the creeps away. Nice little strategy, actually. We've discussed that one ad nauseum on Reddit over there. Actually, back in the middle lane, we might have a potential attempt on top of this Tinker, or on top of the Quap, as she's going to be obliterated by the Tinker, blown up in 3 manners, and didn't even need the bounty hunter was a little late to that party. Looking for the lion, but I don't think that's going to be any good. He's going to go in on it. Let's see if that's going to happen to kill, and then we'll rotate down to the bottom lane. Stun and disable. If only that lion was level 5. If only. That would actually be a dead bounty hunter right now. Actually, how much damage does that do? 600 damage. That would have been a dead bounty hunter. And he's close. The lion's pass closer to 6 than the bounty hunter is. So that's not good. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and switch over to the last hits. We see the rain. Oh, come on. I'm just not doing a very good job today. Last game I did a lot better job. 3,000 gold on the Radiant. It was 3,000 XP on the Radiant. I have missed every single kill. Wow. Either way, we'll do a better job. We will do a better job. Quap potentially looking for the rune. Not going to find it. Returning to the middle lane. We're desperately looking for... I'm thinking... Who's going to win this match? I'm thinking it's going to be the Dire. They have the Wraith King. They got the Quap. Much better late game chances compared to the Tinker. But that's only if the Tinker gets his opportunity to... No, well, they have the Earthshaker, but they don't have any fast ways to get into lane. It's all going to depend on the Slark and the Bounty Hunter to pick off that Tinker. If they can do that, if they can keep the Tinker down to size, which has not been happening... then we might see that Tinker being the reason why the Radiant loses. Because other than that, they really don't have a whole lot. They've got the Centaur, but he's just the tank. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, we're going to see further initiation on top of the Tinker. This is what they needed with the Bounty Hunter initiation. It doesn't matter, though. Jack Black is going to be blown up, and that's going to be a kill on top with the Bounty Hunter. So at very least, the Bounty Hunter got something out of that. Hitting 6. Wait, I heard the Earthshaker. Come on, Betty. There we go. Stopping himself. What a... Okay. Goofy play. He made a mistake. He wasn't able to do a whole lot of good out of that. So, back in the bottom lane, we actually see the Lion, who's playing a little on the offensive. And Slark, as well as the Centaur, just continuing to try to get their farm up. Slark not being able to do a whole lot against this Centaur, I guess. So. That was hot. It was very, very hot coffee. I don't like these mugs. They don't hold a whole lot. Quap doing a brilliant job rotating up to the top lane, helping pick off that Windrunner as soon as the lane gets pulled back just enough. As she's going to go ahead and return to lane. As a matter of fact, she's got 3 kills. So she's not doing too bad at all. I don't know exactly what she's waiting for at this point. Doing a nice little swap out with the mantle as well as the mana. So, not a bad setup there going on. Tinker and the Lion in the middle lane. Continue to pick on both the Quap and the Earthshaker. We do have the Bounty Hunter. He's ready to go in. Earthshaker coming in. Track coming down as well. They're ready to start jumping on him. There goes the Earthshaker dropping down everybody first. As well as the Quap's not going to do any good. We had a 3 for 2 and it unfortunately just didn't work. It didn't do any good. So not a good system. And I caught that. I didn't miss it. I did not miss it. So Radiant continuing to blow up. And the Tinker just getting away with murder. He's up 5-2 right now. He's absolutely taken off. I would think he's obviously going to be looking for his $2 grand to help get the boots of travel. And as soon as he does that, that's going to be very, very difficult for the Dire to stop, especially because the Slark and the Bounty Hunter are not ready to start searching around just yet. They don't even have their boots finished. So if the Tinker he's going to get the nice little rune charge that's going to keep him in lane, finish up a very quick 2,000, especially with the Lion here to help keep him alive. So very smart teamwork there. And not sure. Oh, okay, I see what was going on. The Tinker. Oh, here we go. We have some further deaths coming on top of Levi. He's going to get it. Lion's going to get. He's going to go down to the Earthshaker. And the Tinker's going to continue to get some gold. He gets another about 300 or so gold. So I'd say that was absolutely worth it for the Radiant side, especially because the Radiant only lost the support Lion. They had 3 go in, which means that's XP and gold that the Dire are not picking up elsewhere. Oh, Sand King. That looked like the Bounty Hunter model for a submarine. I was like,
Dire's top tower is
I didn't
under
understand.
attack.
I'm going to go ahead and open this up and get some air going into this so I can actually drink my coffee. Because what's the point of having coffee if I can't drink it? Either way, we actually see Duel in the top. Holy cow, it's steaming. Some hot coffee. Either way, Centaur, level 8, pushing back the nice little Slark in the top lane. It does appear that he's going for the magic wand instead of the magic stick. He's going for that upgrade. Can't say I disagree. They desperately need that little bit of advantage. And the Centaur Warrunner actually picking up a 2,000 gold. He's got the gold that the Tinker is desperately looking for right now. And as a matter of fact, how many points has he got in that? He only has 1 point in March of the Machines. Very interesting enough. As we'd see at the last second, the Windrunner is going to go ahead and drop down to that Wraith King. Queen of Pain. She's got a Quap of Pain, as Reddit loves to knowingly joke about. Not a good pun. It is what it is. 6 viewers. All right. Now we're starting to cook with gas. Thank you very much for joining me. I bet you guys came from Reddit. Really appreciate it. If you like what I'm doing, please follow and favorite me. I'd love to see. I'd love to know what you're thinking. Let me know in chat. If you don't like what I'm doing, let me know. If you do, then follow along. Either way, we're going to be. This is the first day of 5 of casting marathon. So love to have you and have some fun. Either way, we're continuing to see a nice little picked off. The Windrunner continuing to push her advantage against this Wraith King. And that was a brilliant bait as they're going to go ahead and get the kill. That's exactly what they needed. Great, great bait. I love what they had set up there. That was planned, especially because the Windrunner had gotten the 2 kills on top of the Wraith King already. So great setup there. Love what they're doing as the Lion continues to push in the middle lane with the Tinker. He's got his boots of travel, ladies and gentlemen. Here, it's time for some Rat Dota. Going back home, filling back up, and returning to the mid lane against the Quap, who has to ditch out. Earthshaker even securing the. I don't think that was entirely necessary, but escape secured, I guess. Back up at the top lane, the Wraith King's got the ultimate ready to go. Just in case the Windrunner tries to return, he will have that advantage. Likewise, everybody else rotating down to the bottom lane, they might be looking for the Centaur pickoff. I can't say I blame them, especially with 4 in the Radiant, but in the middle lane. I'm not exactly sure why they're all clumped up in this position if they're not going to go for the towers. Bounty Hunter returning to lane. And now we're seeing the Tinker do what the Tinker does best. He's going to continue to push off. And unfortunately, as we were discussing earlier, neither the Bounty Hunter nor the Slark were able to actually stop him early on from getting that fast boots. They tried. He's going to... There. Now we waited for the ultimate to finish off. I don't think he's going to get the kill on top of this one, though. And actually, he's going to go ahead and get it. There goes the Tinker. Brilliant play. Brilliant, brilliant play. Slowing down that Tinker and doing exactly what we discussed that we needed to get from the Bounty Hunter and from the Slark. Fortunately, the Wraith King was in the right place at the right time to help secure that kill. And because of that, we're going to go ahead and see a big fight back in the middle lane. We're going to see 1 down on the Dire, 2 down on the Dire. So 1 for 2. And unfortunately, that just did not work out for the Dire. I mean, they got the kill they needed to, but they were not able to survive long enough at the end of it. Earthshaker securing the rune for not sure who. Okay, he went ahead, just picked it up for himself, I guess.
Top tower is under attack.
Waiting for,
Bottom tower is under
I'm thinking that this bottom tier 1 is going to be the first one that gets picked off, which is going to be very crucial, I would think, for the Radiant, because they've got the Tinker. They're going to want to get as much farm as they can. This is going to open up some opportunities for both. If they can get the mid tier 1 and the bottom tier 1 finished off, that's going to mean... Actually, let's go ahead and follow the Tinker while I go ahead and talk for a little bit. Here we go. So, we've got the Tinker in the mid lane. Come on, camera. You got to start playing with me here. So, we've got the Tinker in the who's going to be jumping all over the place. He's going to have...
Dire's bottom
What
tower
is this?
under attack.
Quit fighting me. Okay, Wraith King Ultimate. I'm just going to ignore that camera crap. It's not working for me, so why bother? Anyway, what I was trying to say is if they can take out the mid and the bot tier 1s, not only is that going to open up Roshan, but it's going to open up the second Ancient Camp, which is going to give the Tinker far more gold and map space that he's possibly going to need. So that's going to help out greatly for their side. Likewise, we actually see some further initiation coming up on the Quap is going to be able to get out just in time, and that's going to be denied tier 1. So Centaur actually getting the kill back in the bottom lane and before on the top of the Earthshaker as the Bounty Hunter gets the final hit on that. So a nice little 1-for-1 trade in the bottom lane as we continue to see a nice little... I'm not exactly sure why the Lion is the only one back in this middle lane. Well, I guess it's because the Tinker is going to be jumping around all over the place. So we have an answer to that one. So 1-1-1 with the jumping Tinker. 2 in the bot lane instead. And just not enough sentry wards being placed all over the place on the Radiant side. I expected to see a bit more because we're going to be looking for essentially a Shadow Blade on the Slark. Well, Bounty Hunter's got his own invisibility, of course.
Tower is under attack.
Oh boy, that Kavi is hot. Waiting for it to come back into play. As we see a big fight coming back into the middle lane. As the Earthshaker is going to continue to be picked on, the Slark's just going to let his buddy fall. Not a whole lot he can do about it in the long run anyway. As the Windrunner back in the middle lane is actually going to pick off the Queen of Pain. Come on, game, let's work with me here. As the Wind Ranger is going to get it. So a nice little 1-for-3 kill. Radiant getting the absolute advantage of that. Especially because all they lost was a support. The Dire lose 2 carries and a tankier support. So big plays coming in from the Radiant. 4,000 gold, 6,000, closer to 7,500 XP coming in on the side of the Radiant. If you're just sticking with me, if you're just coming in to meet, join in. My name is Ninja Chris. This is Ninja Chris Casts. This is the very first day of a 5-day casting marathon. Glad for you to be with me. If you like what I'm doing, I'd love for you to subscribe and follow below. If you don't like what I'm doing, let me know. You came here through Reddit. Let me know on Reddit. Let me know in chat. Something. Let me know what I can improve on. Because otherwise, this will continue just to not be a very good cast. And I wanted to improve as much as I can. Either way, this will also be my very last casting session before the school year begins. So, these 5 days. So, I hope you're having fun. I would love it if you did. So, let me know what you think, and otherwise, we will continue just having fun. 2 denies coming out on the Radiant. It's great that they're getting these denies at very least, but at the same time, they've lost 2 tiers. I was saying earlier that I thought the Radiant were actually going to get the first towers, especially because... actually, we have a big fight coming on top of the Radiant. They don't even know what's going to hit them. The Tinker's getting the heck out of dodge as fast as he can, while the Centaur ult's not going to do him a whole lot of good as the Tinker's going to continue to be picked off. Rad Dota too weak right now. 2 more drop, both on the Dire side for the Quap and the Earthshaker, while the Lion also continues to drop. It is a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Continuing to see the Windrunner just run as fast as she can. They're going to switch targets on top of the Centaur. Doesn't matter. He's going to blink out as quickly as he can. And the Dire continuing to show that they've got the strength to continue pushing through this mid game. We see a very interesting little M shape coming up here just to show that everything's been switching back and forth on top of the XP, which has been stabilized. So continuing to show that the Dire have the opportunity to pull back a win from this scenario. Let's see. Let's keep on the last hits and denies. Thank you very much. Anyway. We are going... I know what this builds into. Is it? It's not. I don't know. I can't recall exactly. I thought he was building into one item there. I feel like I should know exactly what he's going for there. Is he going to assault Cuirass? No, I don't know what he's building in. Either way. I feel like I should know exactly what he's building into. I feel like an idiot. Either way. So, Tinker jumping around a little bit more cautiously as he was before, looking for the farm that we were discussing earlier. Not sure if he's actually going to be going in. Oh, here we go. Here comes the bounty hunter spotting out the Tinker. I don't know if he's going to catch him in time. He missed his turn, and he's just going to get out. And he's instead just going to go ahead and pick on top of this lion. Jumping in from the Wraith King, we have a big fight coming in on our hands. 2 dropping on the side of the Dire. Quapple taking out 2, as a matter of fact. All for once again the Lion. The Lion's getting absolutely blown up. The Dire are not picking off the right targets here. They're getting something out of it, but it's not enough. There we go. Now we're getting a Centaur picked off, as well as the Tinker being forced to stop in place. It's not going to do enough damage, as the Slark's going to drop down to the Wind Ranger as well.
It's probably not a problem. Probably.
Oh, that hardly hurt at all.
4 for 3. I don't know what to tell you guys. This is not exact. I mean, that was by far the better scenario for the Radiant side, because they were in the lead, but they were making some big mistakes that was costing them a few kills earlier in the game, which is the only reason why why the Dire are at 15. But at the same time, it's very interesting to say exactly who's in the lead. The Dire are behind on kills, but they have the mid to late game advantage over the Radiant, with the exception of the Centaur and the Tinker. So it's the Rat Dota that's going to be the problem here. If the Dire can stop the Rat Dota, then their tower lead currently are going to continue to help them push that advantage. So I guess we'll see what happens. Actually, we have a Hand of Midas up on that, on the Wraith King. There we go. I was looking for that a little bit earlier. So we're definitely looking for the late game opportunity here. And unless they keep feeding this Windrunner, which they have been, the Centaur is getting a lot of farm, as a matter of fact, more than I remembered there being. So, Tinker getting the kill on top of the Bounty Hunter, and potentially a second kill coming in as, well, the 1 for 1. Dropping down the Sentry Ward as he's running away, and
Dire's bottom tower is under
I don't think he's going to get out. Oh, he's so close. Just blink in as fast. No. Radiant's just barely not able to help finish off the job there. Windrunner actually getting the kill on top of the Earthshaker, and the one in return, very strangely. 3 for 1. Continuing to push back in this middle lane. Not going to do a whole lot of good. Tinker returning home. And I would think that his next item on the build is going to be that Dagon. See what he's looking for. Quap pushing in the top lane. They desperately want to see if they can do some nice little advantage against that tier 2. That's where the Dire have their big advantage of right now. That's what's actually shutting down the Radiant, because the Tinker is not able to actually get his farm because the towers are actually dropping on the Radiant side. Likewise, Wraith King's about to drop, and strangely enough, way out of position. Doesn't matter too much.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He was kind of the support.
Radiant's top tower is
He picked up
under
the blade. Here comes the Centaur. Interestingly enough, I thought that was going to be the Tinker, but that was the wrong color. Come on, Coffee. I want to drink you. I'm losing my edge. Either way, like I was saying earlier, we have the big towers, the big tier 1s back in the game. And as long as I would have loved to have seen actually a Trait Protector coming in. Here goes the Bounty Hunter. I don't know what this is going to do. I think the Dire's going to lose this fight here. Ult is going to be dropped. It's not going to do nearly enough good. 2 dropping on the side of the Dire.
Is under attack.
Pardon me for a minute. Let me get some caffeine in my system.
Radiant's bottom tower
Still
is
hot.
under
I
attack.
hate these mugs. Wraith King back in the middle lane. We continue to see some nice little pressure coming in finally for the Radiant. They want another tower. They're not going to be able to get it just yet, but this tower is definitely going to lose at least half of its health. Glyph being popped on the Dire side as we even see a flank potentially coming in from the Slark. He's not going to find anybody. Tinker teleporting in. seeing if he can drop nice little March of Machines. Great little push advantage coming in. And of boots actually being finished on the Wraith King. That's going to be the power treads. So, only took about 25 minutes. Not too shabby, I guess, if you consider the fact that he had a Midas. Whatever. It is what it is. And either way, it's interesting to see that except for the bottom tier one, which is going to help out against the Roshan for the Radiant, not a whole lot else has been taken. The Radiant are losing their advantage. They've got more kills, but they're actually okay. So they're up on the gold, and they've actually gained a lot more XP, but they're losing map control. Is what I'm trying to get to. That's what the Tinker is meant to do: is take control of the map control. And here we go. We've got 2 dropping down on the side of the Dire, so I have to take it back. Nonetheless, the Lion's about to drop down. The Windrunner is about to go down as well, and they want this Slark. I think he's gonna. No, he's not gonna get out. Take it back after all. Windrunner getting that kill. So they're getting the kills, but they need the map control. What a goofy game. I'm not sure exactly what to tell you here. Nice little Shiva's Guard coming up on the Centaur War Runner. That's a great little setup. I think the Wraith King is going to get out of this. Blinks out just in time. Brilliant play from the Wraith King, and he's going to get out. Not giving a single kill away. Brilliant job. Blink at the perfect time.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Either way, very goofy game overall. Still waiting to see either team to actually stick it out, really duke it out, see who's going to get the next towers. And Sand King is going to get blown up by the Wraith. She's going to miss the Quap. Absolutely horrible ult. Going to miss everybody. The tower going to be doing more work than that Quap. Munchie Biscuit's going to drop down to the Wraith King while the Bounty Hunter's going to get some nice little gold out of that. 2 dropping on the side of the Dire. Tinker getting the Bounty Hunter out of that one. What a silly game. What a silly game. This is what happens when Dota 2 Cast It recommends games, guys. Some of them are amazing and some of them are very just odd. Lion getting a kill on top of the Earthshaker. 4 down on the side of the Dire. Slark running away as best as he can. I don't think he's got a kill. He got the Tinker, but... And there goes 2 as well. So all that's left is the Windrunner, and with the Wraith King ult, the stun back up here in just a second, he's gonna get juked. Get juked, son, as she's gonna get away. What a goofy game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
BKB being finished up very shortly on the Wraith King. Hopefully that'll give a nice little advantage, at least hopefully enough for him to be able to get out of any fight situation he needs to. No towers being taken at this point by any team. Well, actually, take that back. We did lose the top tier 1 of the Dire side. Not a whole lot else. Let's take a look at the graphs. 5,000 gold even, and we do have a 2,000 XP swing, interestingly enough. And I think it's only 1,200 gold for the recipe for the BKB. See if I know my stuff. 1375. That was close. Close but no cigar. And are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get it? Let's not follow that. Not a whole lot else going on right now for either team. Everybody's just waiting to farm up, get their last items as best they can, and not sure exactly what the Radiant need at this point. The Tinker, he's getting consumed absolutely right now. He's not running the right Dota presence that we expect of one. Actually, they're ready to fight, and they're going to jump on top of this Quap, who's going to take a lot of damage. It's going to stop a bottle charge, as well as a second one, a third bottle charge. Or what did something not I don't think something triggered that first bottle charge to finish off. Nonetheless, she's going to get out only because of that bottle. Brilliant bottle play. So, kept her alive just long enough. Otherwise, she would have not lived out of that situation. And continuing to see the rest of the Radiant. They had a great system, but unfortunately just did not pay off for them. Dropping some wards. They're going to take a couple steps back.
Radiant's bottom tower has
The Radiant
fallen.
Courier getting picked off actually by the Bounty Hunter. Great little setup there. Excuse me. As the rest of the Radiant desperately searching for that Bounty Hunter. They're not going to fight him. Going to go ahead and go back to farming as best they can. Murloc doing a little bit of sneaky play. He's going to spot out the Centaur. And not sure exactly what's going to happen to this. He's just going to run away. Doing a little bit of scouting. Nothing else. Bottom lane, Tinker continuing to push back as best as he can. This is going to be an hour-long game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking with me for the day. My name is Ninja Chris. This is yet another Ninja Chris Casts. We are in the middle of a 5-day marathon. Middle of day 1 of a 5-day marathon. So, love for you to stick around. Thanks for having fun. I hope you're having fun. Either way, BKB being prematurely popped on top of the Wraith King. That's his 8-second, isn't it? That was his 10-second. Okay, but furthermore, the Earth King... boy, oh boy, this is why I need caffeine. Lion getting blown up by that Earthshaker. And we're going to continue to have 2 down. Everybody in the Dire taking a lot of damage, but nobody's getting picked off. We have 3 down on the side of the Dire, Radiant. As a matter of fact, there might be a 4th as we have a... there goes the Earthshaker. Why do I keep saying that? Wind Ranger. 4 down.
Tower is under attack.
So either way, too much split coming up on the Radiant side. They had a lot of damage, but they didn't focus anybody. If they would have focused 1 or 2 people, that fight would have gone very, very differently. It might have been a 2 for 2 instead of a 4 for nothing. Either way, we're going to continue to see some fights. I'm not sure why the Wraith King decides... Okay, he's just popping his ultimate. It's back up to... He's level 21. That's fast. I guess it would have had to have been because of the Midas. Not too worried about it. Either way, there goes a tier 2 mid. Going down very nicely. And everybody's just going to run. Don't blame him in the least. The Tinker... I mean, why would you want to give any more kills? They're almost caught up. As a matter of fact, Tinker finally getting level 1 Dagon. So slow. 30 minutes. There's no reason for that. Look at that swing. We've gone from about a 6,000 gold positive to 3275. So, boy, 7,000, 8,000 gold swing. And XP swing like nobody's business. We've gone from over 12,000 to a 1,000, so a 13,000 XP difference. Dire continuing to blow up at this game right now. Show off why they have the late game possibility. Everybody wanting on top of this bounty hunter. This was not for the place for him to be. He's gonna get spotted out. Sentry ward's dropped, and he's gonna drop. Great plays coming in from the Tinker, who's gonna take out that bounty hunter. Or more specifically, I'm not sure why they dropped a second Sentry Ward. Little unnecessary, but nonetheless, Bounty Hunter just... Ooh. Smack Doc coming out from the Levi. Little butthurt that he got caught so far out of position. Little unnecessary on his part for both sides. BKB being popped. Not sure why he popped BKB for that. Didn't seem all that smart. Whatever. Rest of Radiant taking their step back, doing whatever they can out of that. Still waiting for teams to just continue looking for that single chance pickoff. Yeah, I got a little bit of Reddit hate, unfortunately. Whatever. Nothing new there. Reddit hates everybody. Going back to the mid lane, we've got the Levi actually checking out. Hopefully stalling off against the Tinker push coming in with the line of the Centaur as well. The Wraith King up in the top lane and the Slark in the bottom lane. So everybody in the Dire just consistently trying to push back evenly, even though the Tinker is in the middle lane. Quap picking up a invisibility. Looking for that opportunity. Not exactly when that's going to come into play. Centaur popping ultimate, trying to get this bounty hunter. I think he's going to get the pick on it. He's got the Sentry Ward, but at the same time going a little too far back. 2 on the Dire, about to drop. Slark barely getting out. Quap barely getting out. Bounty getting out. But not before the Earthshaker drops down to the Tinker.
Construction.
Come on, Caffeine. Cool down a little bit.
Pain of death.
Death to all betrayers.
Sand King doing also a little bit of smack talk right now. There we know. Now, there we go. Now I can have some caffeine in me, guys. Big pushback coming in the middle lane with the Earthshaker. Excuse me. Windrunner. This is why I need caffeine, guys. This is exactly my reason. Either way, I guess it doesn't help that I've been out of the game of casting for so long. Either way, we're going to continue to see big fight coming back on the middle lane. Lion getting absolutely obliterated. Murloc about to drop well. Going down to the Tinker. So 1 for 2. Dropping down as well. We have further fights coming on top of the Wraith King. Big hits coming in from the Centaur. As we have 3 for 2 coming down on the Radiant side. Wraith King coming down as well. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot of good. He might try and blink out at the last second. Pause. I think this is for some crap talking. Lion resuming the game. Nobody wants to put up with that crap. They're trying to mess up the timer of when for everybody to be ready. Waiting for the pause to finish up. There we go. Wraith King back in the game, and he's not going to be able to do anything to really help out his buddy. He's potentially going to get a kill out of this, but I would say right now is his time. He needs to run away. He's not ready to give up just yet. That Radiant's not going to do him a whole lot of good as the Wraith King does in fact get the kill on top of the Sand King. So that will absolutely counter that Sand King Sandstorm. What can you say? Back in the middle lane, we actually, since we have a nice little 3 for 3 trade, as the Wraith King is back in the game, his ultimate, gosh, it's already almost ready to go.
Tower is under attack. Dire's top tower
Already
is
almost
under
up.
attack.
And just waiting for something to happen again. That was a nice little fight earlier, but unfortunately everybody just goes back to farming. Not a whole lot else going on right now. We actually have a level 4 Dagon coming back up on the Bounty Hunter, which is funny because the Tinker's actually further behind. He's only got the level 2. So, you know, laser beams for days. Bottom lane, as the Dire continue to prove that they've got the advantage right now. Let's take a look at the swing. 5,000 gold now in their advantage. We've swung about 15,000 total that way, as well as a 0 XP difference now. Dire absolutely in the advantage. Map control, gold control, everything else that's necessary. Bounty Hunter getting the nice little kill on top of the Windrunner and continuing to prove that they have the mid to late game advantage over the Radiant. Tinker being completely shut down at this point. All he can do is sustain lanes. He can't even push them. Dire is ready to come in, potentially take this tier 2. I think this is what they're going to be looking for. This is their prize. And actually we have initiation up on top. They desperately want to take out this Earthshaker, and they're going to do so. Nice little quick pick off as the rest of the team are ready to continue playing. Levi running for his life as fast as he can as the tower's going to spot him out. Wraith King, nice little blink out of the way. The Wraith King's cask is not going to do a whole lot of good. Tinker returning home. That is it for the fight, as they say. 1 for 1 and nothing else. Gem being picked up on the War Runner, as a matter of fact. That's going to help continue to play against the Bounty Hunter and the Slark. As no, I take it back. There goes the Bounty Hunter. And doing exactly what they bought the gem for. The Wraith King getting blown up completely. He's going to drop. There goes the first ultimate. It's only down for 50 seconds. Very interesting. Oh, sorry. That's not the right player. 51 seconds there. That's the timer we're expecting. Quap getting the Sand King, two down on the side of the Dire, and 2 down on the side of the Radiant.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So right now, the Centaur War Runner is actually excuse me, they're going to be the prime target for the Dire, as he's going to get, ooh, he almost got picked off. Jack Black diving at the last moment. Windrunner desperately trying to get that last hit, not going to get it. Running for her life. She's going to TP home. Brilliant plays. I think I'm going to go ahead and make this my last game for the day for casting, just because, let's be honest here, not a whole lot of cast for the rest of the day. I want to be able to have some games to cast for the rest of the week. So, a shorter marathon each day, but a marathon nonetheless. Boots on the quap. I know this build. I know this build. She's going for Scythe. No? Chris, come on now. Not Scotty. Okay, they just don't work together. Just casual builds, I guess. Gosh, I need to relearn all my stuff. I'm sorry, I've been a little out of the game for a while. I used to know my stuff. Either way, Slark helping pick off this Windrunner. She's going to put herself into the air, but it's not going to do a whole lot else. As the Bounty Hunter and everybody else should get ready to continue blowing her up, and she's going to drop first as the fight continues. There goes the Sand King, Wraith King, getting a double kill out of that Centaur, running for his life, because even though he's got that heart to stay alive, he has the gem. He can't lose that. The rest of the Dire desperately want as the Slark's ready to continue picking him off. Lion knocking up into the air. He's going to get away, no problem whatsoever. As it appears, the Lion's actually looking for the scepter.
I am ever so grateful.
40 minutes into this 60-minute game, waiting for the next 20 minutes to finish up. Hour 8. Not sure who's going to win this one, as a matter of fact. Even though we have the Dire going for the Roshan, we continue to see the Dire absolutely blowing up on the side of the XP and the gold right now, continuing to push their advantage. So they're doing a great job right now. And Roshan about to be finished off. I'm thinking that not the Wraith King. Somebody pick it up, guys. There we go. Earthshaker picking it up.
Have to wait.
And if they're not careful, okay, Centaurs are going to blink out of time, blink in just in time. Bounty Hunter actually picking off the Lion.
Bet that hurt.
Continuing to see some extra little aggression coming in from the Dire, especially now that they have the Aegis. They need to get that gem off the Centaur. Centaur is so tanky right now. They need to, I mean, he is the tank, but so it's probably not the greatest thing to focus on right now. But at the same time, they need that invisibility if the Slark and the Bounty Hunter are going to continue to be able to do their thing. Does the Slark even have the Shadow Blade? No, he chose to actually go for the Sanj and Yasha instead. No mid lane pushes coming up. The Bounty Hunter actually getting the first Dagon 5 as the Tinker gets the Quap. I'm hungry. My body is telling me it is starving. Probably another good sign to just continue the rest of the casting gig tomorrow.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, back in the bottom lane, top lane, we actually have the Wraith King, the Earthshaker, and the nice little Bounty Hunter continuing to push back against lanes. And that's going to be some nice little gold for him. I don't know exactly what he's saving up for. He's got almost 3 grand. Buy something. You're not starved by any means. As we see the Tinker continuing to do nothing but sustain at this point. 43 minutes into the game. Slark's doing nothing but poking around. He's potentially going to spot out the Centaur. He is. As well as the Centaur's just getting the heck out of dodge. Nope, take that back. He's just going to go in for creeps. Was looking the wrong way. Either way, Wraith King finally picking up the Assault Cuirass. Ooh, that's going to be a lot of fun for their team. They're ready to fight now. If any time was ever going to be a good one, it's right now. Get the entire tire. Nope, Centaur's actually going to go ahead and pick off the Slark. Tinker's going to jump into the fight as well. And that's potentially one dead Slark. Nope, he's going to pop ultimate and just run out of that fight. No problem whatsoever. Likewise, up in the top lane, we have the Windrunner, who's digging her way nice and deep with the power shot into the trees. Tinker helping slow down the lane, And no fights even so. So not sure exactly what we're looking for over here. Oh, coffee.
Dire's middle tower
No.
is under attack.
You need to be in my stomach. Not on the keyboard. 3 minutes on the Aegis that the Earthshaker has not let go of just yet. I'm a little surprised that now that the Wraith King has got the Aegis. Excuse me. Earthshaker has the Aegis. Wraith King has the Assault Cuirass. They're fed. This is when they need to fight. They've got 3 minutes to take advantage of this 6-5 advantage, especially because they're winning team fights. Force a tower fight. Force something, guys. Take advantage of the opportunity you've presented yourself and get something out of this. Nonetheless, we're waiting 4,700 gold up on the Wraith King as they are forcing the Sand King back out of this fight. They're going to go ahead and start off on top of the Lion. Ult being popped on nobody. What a whiffed ultimate coming out from the... If this were Dota Cinemas, they'd have the massive X, the red X on top of their head. As the Quap is going to go ahead and pick off the Tinker and continue to fight. 2 dropping on the side of the Dire, 2 on the Radiant as well. So the Dire continue to do extraordinarily work. Centaur is going to drop. He's being the tanky player, and he's going to... Oh, what the... Oh, not the right target to go on there. However, they did get the Aegis popped, but not what they wanted. 5 down on the side of the Radiant with the exception of the buyback on the Centaur. Quap getting the Windrunner. So, further play coming in. Centaur buying... I think they bought back into the game, jumped back into the fight, and if they're not careful, that's going to be yet another fight. Wraith King still got his ultimate, so he's not worried about that tower whatsoever. He's even got his... He's got his heart. He's just going to go right back up to full health as best they can. There goes a tower. Everything's going in their favor now. Let's take a look at that graph now. 14,000 gold and 8,000 XP in their favor. That's especially because the Centaur died taking out the Aegis. Maybe that was his plan, but I don't think it was a very good one. Nonetheless, there goes the Centaur picking off the Quap. This is what they wanted. The Centaur continuing to take... Well, no, he's not taking any damage, as a matter of fact. Wraith King still got his ultimate. Somebody get that gem and get out, please, as they continue to want to pick off this Centaur. Wraith King being in the wrong place at the wrong time, diving way too deep, playing stupidly. There goes his ultimate. A second time, was it? Man, that must have been interesting. Second thought, I don't think it ever got picked off that first time. Earthshaker dropping down. Dire pushing their lead too far at this point. If they wanted to dive this far into the base, they needed to get towers, not kills. Tinker doing absolute work, blowing up whoever he can. It's not doing a whole lot, though, as the Centaur War Runner continues to be picked on by this. It's just a duking fest here in the middle lane. Windrunner helping out, and there goes the Wraith King, picking up Tinker getting 1,400 gold. Quite a bit. Not a bad play for the Dire, or for the Radiant. Dire overextending way too much. And now we continue to see a slight dip back up in the favor of the gold. And the XP coming closer, about 4,000 XP swing. So Dire making mistakes. They had their advantage. They took their tier 2. If they wanted to press the issue, they should have gone back in for the tier 3, and this should have been where their focus was. They could have walked away with the gem. They would have gotten a tier 3, and they wouldn't have lost 4. They got a little cocky, and not a smart move on their side. Murloc getting blown up. 4 down on the side of the Dire. Radiant going for it, maybe making the smarter plays. The wall coming up, not going to do a whole lot in the long run, though. They were going for the creeps anyway, and they were able to do that through the wall, so it's really not that big of a deal. And there goes the first tier 3 of the game. Radiant doing the right thing that the Dire were not doing prior. Getting the kill on top of the Earthshaker. He's down for 70 seconds. Double buybacks on the side of the Dire. The mech even being popped back up. Ducks being picked off very quickly. There goes the Lion. As the rest of the Radiant getting the heck out of dodge, as they needed to do that. Sinking the Jukes, getting out. Well played. Force staffing himself out. I don't think he's going to get out of this fight, but he's sure put up a fight doing so.
Such a little
So, that is essentially what the Dire should have been doing. The difference being that the Radiant are actually further behind than the Dire, which is why they focused the tower and they did good work there. That being said, they lost 2, whereas the Dire played ridiculously, pushing all the way past the tier 3s, losing the gem, losing 4, and 1,400 gold to the Tinker, who's not who you want to give it to at this point. So ultimately, yeah, this is exactly what the Radiant are looking for. They are being smarter about their ways to try and get back into this game. Which is good because the Dire, they have the advantage, but they're not using it. They're playing stupidly and stubbornly. So we'll see who's actually able to take care of this game. Not entirely sure at this point. 10,000 gold under, as well as we are now getting... It actually dipped back in the favor of a 0 XP difference. Especially with the hero levels, we're starting to breach the 25s. Which means that as soon as we hit that, everybody's going to be dead even anyway. Dire actually going for the Roshan. This is the smart play for them. They need to get that 6th man on the field, so to speak. Or I guess more specifically, 7th man, if you consider the double Wraith, the 2 Wraith Kings. I would say give it to the Slark. The Slark's by far their better player right now. The Quap is not hitting any of her ultimates right now. And, okay, Wraith King going to go ahead and pick it up. As they continue, Radiant are going to go ahead and get one of the kills out of it. 80 seconds out for the Wraith King, or for the Bounty Hunter. As they're going to go ahead and jump on top of the Tinker, who's going to take a lot of damage. Finally, we have a Wraith King, we have the Quap ultimate hitting properly. As we continue to see even further fight backs, Quap dropping down to the Tinker, who's going to drop in turn to the Wraith King. Big fights, 1 for 2 on the side of the Radiant. And Lion's going to drop down as well. Tinker's going to buy back into the game. 3 down on the side of the Dire. This is what the Radiant are looking for. Great plays. Wow. Funny enough, the Radiance being the reason a 4th kill gets picked off. Radiant are not ready to finish off this fight. And who would blame them? See if you can get 1 kill out of this. Get rid of that Aegis. That's... Actually, I don't remember if the... Okay, the ult pops first. Looking for the 2nd kill. I don't think they're going to get... He doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He doesn't have the BKB. Yeah, they're not going to get it. Right now, just focus on the tower, guys. Just a couple right clicks. Get the right clicks on the tower, please. There we go, Windrunner. You're doing God's work. And there they go. 2nd kill on top of the Windrunner. Everybody else on the Dire still out of this fight. There goes the Aegis being popped. TP coming in from the Bounty Hunter as soon as he's in the game. And that's it for the Radiant. They're ready to get out. Smart, smart, smart plays coming in for the Radiant. They did exactly what they needed to do. They got 4 out. They didn't focus on the tank until they absolutely could afford to do so. They got the tier 3 for free.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well played, Radiant. Exactly what they wanted out of that scenario. Dire being forced to stutter step their performance at this point. Hopefully they'll learn from this and continue to make a decent fight. 10,000 gold, about 8,000 gold on the favor of the Dire. Nonetheless, XP is continuing to swing back to close to nothing. The only one not in the 20s being the Sand King. So this will very shortly be a nice little even level fight, and it will rely entirely on gold and skill, as well as teamwork, of course, but I'm talking statistically. Let's go ahead and switch over to buyback status, as a matter of fact. I think that'll be a nice little system for us to go to. Lion back in the middle lane.
Haste.
Potentially get a spot out. Yeah, he went ahead and spotted out this nice little... I almost jokingly said juicy Wraith King, but that's not. That's obviously a joke. Radiant's doing work against this middle lane creep wave. Everybody else smoked up. They're waiting for the Centaur, who's going to go ahead and jump in. That's going to be the advantage they were looking for. Everybody else on the Dire jumping in. The Lion going to be the first one to drop as the Centaur runs as fast as he can. It's not going to do a whole lot of good. Wraith King jumping in the middle of the racks. Not doing a whole lot of work, but there goes the first Dagon. I believe that was from the Tinker. And the Dire getting only a support kill as they're forced to just take a retreat step back. There are no sentries on the field right now, strangely enough. Tinker jumping back into the middle lane. They want their advantage back. They take out the Quap. Centaur getting the kill for that one as the Tinker actually dropped down to the Wraith King. Crazy. Tons of damage coming in from the Sand King. Continuing to see extra ults being thrown out all over the place. Each team desperate to get a grip on this fight. As we continue to see the center getting blown up. I don't think this is really going to do a whole lot. The bounty's about to get picked off. I think he's going to go down very shortly. He goes down only because of what am I trying to say here? The Wraith King's Radiance finishing it off in addition to the well-placed urn charge. That's going to be a tier 3, as well as the rest of the Radiant team. Just not ready to fight just yet. Actually, Windrunner getting a nice little stick on top of this. Centaur jumping in. BKB being forced on top. We're down to 8 seconds. 8-second BKB charge being popped. There goes the Earthshaker. He's ready to fight, jumping on top of this Centaur Warrunner. Tons of damage coming in, and that's going to be one dead Jack White very shortly, as well as the Wraith King ultimate. Doesn't really matter, as there goes the Earth. No, she's going to get out. Just in time as the Lion is actually getting out as well. Come on, Dire. Focus on the towers. Learn to focus on objectives. Objectives are more important than kills, as they're going to go ahead and finally get it. Tinker's going to jump to the top lane. No, take that back. Quap's actually going to jump to the top lane. My apologies. And there goes the first set of racks. Finally, Dire doing what they should have been doing all along, focusing on the. My chair's breaking. Finally, as we get a full set of racks, the rest of the Dire ready to head home. Look at this Wraith King, though. We've got 9,000 gold. Just saving for buyback, obviously, but yeah, there's. Oh no! Are we getting? We're getting an Abyssal. Ooh, so pretty. So pretty. Too good. Too good. Yeah, I don't blame him for not wanting to go into a Rapier. Tons of damage. Tons of damage. Top lane getting pushed back in as best as they can by the Tinker and the War Runner. A Wind Ranger. Waiting for this game to finish wrapping itself up very shortly. I do think that the Dire is going to take this, especially with the Radiant, especially with the tier 3 rack, the mid 3 racks down. But to be honest with you, it's anybody's game at this point still. We'll see what happens as everybody spotted out the Slark. He's going to get out just fine. Chair's broken. Wraith King continuing to farm back up, especially now that he's got. I mean, he's got himself. He's really doing more. He's buying nice smokes, which is always good. Getting picked off very quickly by the rest of the team on the Radiant side. He got spotted out by this beautiful little ward. Brilliant play. There comes the first life of 2. I don't think his team's anywhere nearby to help him out, though. Earthshaker, you're not going to be able to do enough damage. Wraith King. There goes 2 down on the side of the Dire. 3 down, as a matter of fact, simply because the Bounty Hunter's about to return. And this is what the Radiant wanted. Maybe they can actually return for a Rax down at this point, especially because we do have buyback up on the side of the Wraith King, and we don't have it up on the Earthshaker. So at very least, force that buyback. Give yourself 5 minutes of not needing to worry about Wraith King next time he makes a ridiculous mistake like that. Back in the middle lane, they're doing exactly what they need to do out of this scenario. Quap and Bounty are not going to be able to do anything about this Centaur. It's all about the Slark, the Wraith King. There's the buyback. 5 minutes. All right, 58.50. We're going to be looking until 53.50. No buyback available on the Bounty Hunter, or the Wraith King. Bounty Hunter. They're ready to fight. On top of the Sand King, who is indeed going to get out of the fight just in time as the Markers continue picking on top of this Tinker. Brilliant start. There goes the Quap ultimate. Finally hitting properly. Doesn't matter. Murloc's going to get picked off by the tanky Centaur. 4,000 health. As the rest of the Radiant are just desperately trying to get out of the Dire's jungle. They're continuing to get blown up. Quap actually getting picked off by the Tinker before the Tinker's continuing to run. 420 gold going toward that Tinker as the Wraith King's actually going to get picked off again. He doesn't have buyback. Okay, excuse me. That's his ultimate. Nonetheless, Centaur's doing absolute work. Quap forcing everybody else to continue running out. Tinker coming back in. This game no longer goofy whatsoever. Wraith King is about to drop a third time. Second time. He drops down 420 gold to the Tinker. Tinker's getting fed. Quap getting picked off this time. The rest of the Radiant team want her. She's going to blink out just in time. They want her so bad. Wraith, the Windrunner getting the nice little joke. They didn't actually get the last hit on her. They left her alone, and she got out. That doesn't matter. They got the 5th kill on her. That is an ace. Brilliant play on the Radiant. 73 kills in a 60-minute game on the Radiant alone. As they are desperately on the Radiant side looking for the first racks. There are no buybacks on the side of the Dire. This is their opportunity. Get 2 racks. They need the pressure to be relieved. They're going to get the 2 here in the top lane. Then they're going to go rotate into the bottom lane. Hopefully. No, they're just going to go for it. No, they're going to choose the safe option. Taking out the mid racks. Just in case. I mean, we know, unfortunately, due to the timer, that the game's about to finish. But nonetheless, very well played Radiant. They took advantage. They finished off insulting coming out from the Bounty Hunter.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
We're looking for mega creeps, baby. Here it comes. Radiant are going to get it.
Dire's bottom barrack. Dire's bottom
And yet, and all the while,
now have mega
you know, the funny thing is, they had enough time to take out 2 full sets of racks, a tower. They probably could have just won. Think about it. They had enough time to take out. They could have just won that game. Flat out. Don't blame them for doing what they did. But nonetheless, they could have just won.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Ooh, Slark! Centaur denied the Aegis. As we're going to continue seeing pickoffs by the Slark. Ooh, boy. Centaur denying it. What a play. Actually, I guess we should say more specifically.
Thank you.
I don't know why Centaur denied their own Aegis there. I guess he did. Whatever. Goofy plays, right? I don't know. Either way, back up in the middle lane. The Dire were just forced to step back, and they have to keep farming as best they can. Get everybody out of their base as best as they can. And just hold on for dear life at this point. Not a whole lot else going on. They could have absolutely finished that game now that I think about it. I don't blame them for relieving the pressure to be 100% safe. But they could have won. They could have pulled an evil geniuses moment, dove in, finished off the racks while everybody was down. There were no buybacks available. Would have been fine. Note to self, everybody. Either way. Just waiting for the rest of the Radiant to come back into this fight. We have the Centaur War Runner pushing back in the lane, joking with absolutely everybody. Ooh, Earthseeker, that's not when you wanted to drop your
Dire's middle tower is under
What do we call
attack.
this? Fisher. Either way, here come the Radiant. Here come the fight. Here come the jumps and the jukes on top of the lane. And let's focus on top of that tier 4. Force some pressure out of him. Not going to happen. They're going to choose to jump on top of the Wraith King. He's going to lose his first life. Doesn't matter. He's melting first. First tier 4 dropping. Second tier 4 is also dropping. Everybody on the Radiant side regrouping for a second reinitiation. Up on top of the Earthshaker. He's going to drop 1 for 1. Sand King out first. 2 down on the side of the Dire. 3 down on the side of the Dire. Fourth going to be the Bounty Hunter. Is going to drop down as well. And there goes the Quap. Everybody out for a minute and a half. Great game, well played, being dropped by everybody. Second game, and there goes the throne. Very well played, Radiant. Everybody hating the Tinker pick. Learn to counter him. If you don't like the Tinker pick, learn to counter him. It's that simple, guys. It's just part of the meta right now. You don't like the Rat Dota, figure out how to beat the Rat Dota. Anyway, my name is Ninja Chris. This has been yet another Ninja Chris cast. I'm going to go ahead and close it up for the day just because we don't have a lot of viewers. My voice is ever so sparsely beginning to become scarce, so I don't want to ruin it, especially because I got 4 days ahead of me. If you like what I'm doing, let me know in the comments. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, on Twitch if you like what I'm doing. If you don't like what I'm doing, let me know. PM me, send me messages, anything I can do to improve the games. Anyway, let's go ahead and switch back to this. Yes. Anyway, once again, my name is Ninja Chris. Thank you for sticking with me. This has been yet another Ninja Chris cast. I will see you all tomorrow on Tuesday. Thank you again, and I love you all. You are beautiful people. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.